And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Whiskerwood, in our city building with mice. Sorry for the awkward cessation of the last recording. Wasn't expecting a phone call to occur at right that moment. Let's get a plank row house over here for the housing sorting. Okay, we're probably getting ready to start moving a lot of the industry over here, and then we'll build a bunch of stockpiles in here so that the industry can be adequately supplied, and with the hope that we can blow most of the pollution off the south side of the island. I suppose these are actually contributing quite a bit of pollution. And I suppose we can kind of see, I expected it was blowing this direction. It does appear to be blowing a bit more this direction. So that still means this won't be a bad place to put it. Just means that the place where we've got the sifting tower there is maybe not as good as I thought it was. Day 131, which this is around about where I was originally planning putting the park break. It was just after this, but, well, we've only just got there. Getting just under 1,000 approval a day. Again, the big problem that we're going to try to work with is prevent pollution coming up in the winter by moving over to steam heating, improve the food quality, which is get more mushrooms, get more skewers. All right, we can move away, or move from regular smoked fish. Find another one of the smokeries, which is a 2-star food, to the 3-starred fish skewers here. That would help the food quality, I think. I'm not sure we've got anything. Is there anything else we can make with fish coming up? Steam radiator, that's extra storage. Oh, I suppose we're going to be making oil out of fish. Make threads out of cotton, but I'm fine with flax. That's fine for that. Furniture. Bathhouse, which is the steam and water connection. So it's basically the upgrade to the showers. Apothecary uses saline solution and mushrooms to make medicine. Okay. Smoked fish plus mushroom stew, or bread plus fish skewers, or berry soup plus jam pastries plus spices makes those 4-star meals. Okay. So it looks like I'm probably going to want to get bread going if we're going to go maximize fish skewers and then try to get that translated into a 4-star meal in the long run. So yeah, at some point we'll want to get bread going as well. Bread needs to be a surface crop. Well, wheat needs to be a surface crop. Yeah, so we'll move... What I'm doing right now is I'm effectively moving these 3 ore furnaces. Got 3 ore furnaces already existing on the island. We're going to move their production over to here. They all need fuel. So I'm going to make a storage shed with a get quest request for fuel. So they don't have to go very far to get the fuel. Okay, they're done. So logistics, we want you to be acquiring fuel, and we basically want you to get full on fuel. That's your job. Have fuel. So one of you wants to be copper. I suppose technically we want the other 2 to be bronze, although that's probably overkill right now. So we'll leave one on copper. So we got 1 on bronze, 2 on bronze. Oh no, I do have a 1 to 3 ratio. Okay. Okay. So one of those is a craft master, which is not quite ideal for filling a apprentice space. I don't think it provides the speed buff being assigned there, in addition to what's required, but that should work. That'll also help reduce the pollution down here. Oh, we got a whisker ship tomorrow, so I should abolish the trinkets making so that we can keep the 1,000 or so we need, or 1,000 or so we're going to make over the night till the whisker ship arrives. Need 132. Well, only got 600 approval. Could have definitely done better approval. If I needed or wanted more whiskers, that definitely would not be a great result. Not too worried, so that's not a big concern. And then storage here. Build some storage for these buildings, so I don't have to be wandering across the entire island to get to it. There's the tax collector. So, trinkets. And cotton. In fact, that's more than we really need to ship. Let's keep some of the cotton. Cotton's got some pretty decent storage size, right? In comparison to the trinkets. There we go. Whisker ship. Mostly looking for farmers with no major negative traits. And the answer to that is no. The farmers here have negative traits, and we're not that interested in picking them up. And I don't need to burn the rerolls yet. Not that desperate for Whiskers, because we got 42 floating around, waiting for jobs. Let's do a reroll here. The bread is tempting. Bread iron. Yeah, that's like a good combo. And then here's the supply ship, which gives us more machinery. Oh, one of the warehouses over here. Find the warehouse. I had set to getting tin, I think. Guess one. I had this one set to getting tin. Now it doesn't need to get it anymore because that's what one of the ones over here is going to be for. Okay. So one of these is ore central. Copper, tin, iron. That's what we're smelting, right? So we're smelting iron in there, tin, copper, and just copper. And then we'll set these to have get orders. Let's say 100 of each. And then I suspect over here we're gonna probably be processing gold as well. So we'll let it accept gold, but we're not gonna request it be delivered. This one, logistic-wise, is gonna be the bars. So copper, bronze, iron, steel, gold. I'm not gonna place a specific get these because the point here is that this is close to the smelters. So this is the natural drop point for them. Okay, mine tool. Okay, so we might be moving that miner soon, but that at least gets it mining again for the moment. Might need to... I definitely put some staircases in here for log cutting, and then apparently didn't get the logs, or the trees. Anyway, we got a lot of iron sitting around in preparation for actually building the plumbing for the steam pyre, but obviously we haven't researched that yet. We're working on it. Oh, and I suppose I could upgrade, build showers more places around the island. Although at the same time, there is a upgrade to the shower, which is the bathhouse, which is next. Oh, I was about to say next tier, but it's actually this tier. So instead of building showers, we'll probably splurge and go straight to bathhouse, because we're going to be piping steam all over the island. So for running the water along with it, that shouldn't be too bad. Oh, I queued a row house up somewhere. Let's get it upgraded before I forget about it. And then we should pave over some of our roads. Thinking about it because we got a bunch of stone sitting around. In hindsight, that's not a very good place for the house. Shouldn't move that. Yeah, should change which... Probably want to move that at some point. Not a rush job to fix. And I'm doing it on the ground level because it makes physical sense to me that the stone pathing needs to be on the ground. But we could do elevated stone pathing as well. Treat it like it's concrete slabs and run it on elevated levels as well. Yeah, it takes us back up to max approval. Which is good because I think we're getting whiskers today. No, actually, no whiskers today. Okay. I had trinkets off because well, it was whiskers yesterday. Whiskers again in 2. There's the pirates. We can pay them off with gold, or we can pay them off with machinery. We got a bunch of machinery, so we're going to do it with machinery. There we go. Perfect ransom payment. There's the supply ship. Yeah, we're gonna go with the medium option again. It's the same logic every time. At some point, we'll get something better. We'll move to a level that's just better than hardtack, and then we'll probably just really want to do the high one, just so we're not getting stuff we don't need. But the hardtack right now is sort of tied for best food we have in the village, so... Oh, now that I have some more serious logistical requests, where's my... There's a logistics hub. Let's assign a third person there. As you can see, it's mostly tin and copper that needs to be moved. Because we did the warehouse over here. Oh, I suppose everything here is also using fire tongs. Let's modify this one a little bit. Let's go down to 40, and then we'll also have you getting people to bring tongs to you. 10 tongs. The thing that actually makes the tongs, for example, doesn't actually make any pollution, so put that wherever. Although maybe we don't want the shipping across the entire island. That might be something we put outside of the storehouses here. Yeah, I do hope we get steam power soon before winter arrives, because a lot of the new construction I'm building doesn't assume the old heating systems in place. Day 134. I should convert. Maximize our approval there. Great. They're definitely doing something in that research lab. Steam power's what they're working on. And then mining camp here. Let's see if there's actually anything left in that deposit. We've chased it that far into the mountain. It didn't, I think, go very far. Some tin down at the bottom there. Not too bad. It's more tin there. Okay. Not too bad. Let's get over this one. We'll update this one while we're in the settings. A little bit of tin at the bottom of the hole. Yeah, and at some point I still need to move these smokeries, because they're definitely making pollution. That's kind of this guy's being blown into the hill and not going very far. This one's not too bad. It's mostly diluting by the time it's hitting the little bit of housing storage over here. Same thing with the 17 towers, again, that's getting blown that way. Camp idle woodcutter. Okay, let's move you. Woodcut that stuff. We could, in theory, keep chasing them up the side of the hill over there, but I think we're good for the moment. Chase some of the lower hanging wood first, let's say. Tomorrow is a Whiskership day. Let's take off the trinkets. I probably don't need very much approval for getting all the whiskers we want, but best to not be at 0 in case we see a mighty fine band of them. Pretty good progress on clearing this out. Might be worth actually getting the farm going. It's not gonna let me do that all right here. Will the day end? Like so. Didn't quite get to full, but that's fine. Here's the smuggler. Smuggler, we'll pause the game while we're interacting with the smuggler. He gets a bunch of our ropes. A little low on clothing, actually. Get some more clothing. Yeah, we get 9 gold bullion. Yeah, a little low on flax. Might need to get more flax farming going. Trinkets. And the cotton. Which is actually more than we need. Again, we'll hold on to the cotton because the cotton's more valuable than the trinkets. Whiskership. Ore, consider it. Those aren't bad farmer traits, we'll take those, and we're really thinking about getting more farming. For the directory and indirectly. I don't think we need the other types, so... We got the 2, rest can go. Another Whiskership tomorrow. Although, with how many we're picking up every time, I can probably go in and get some more trinkets already. We're a little low in clothing, so I'm going to take this. We're going to take the bread and the clothing. This doesn't necessarily look like the best of farmland that's left on this island, but I think we'll assign it to be flax land anyway, because we're low on flax. That's what I think we're low on. Yeah, it's not the best of land. Although the flax fertility just seems to be worse than berries, even worse than the trees. Okay. I think it gets me access to most of that usable farmland. So yeah, I'll make this flax. I think I'll try to conveyor belt that over to one of these warehouses over here. There we go. We can already see that some of the stuff's being transported. This is assigned Jaffa only, please. Don't randomly ship things via that. Don't you have an assigned drop-off anyway? Logistics... Oh no, you're supposed to be assigned to that. Input hopper. Okay, so that was just not set up right. It's fine, we fixed it. Farm tool, flats. So that's going to be a field. That's going to be a field. That will be a little bit complicated to get to, but we'll make that a field. We'll make that a field. It's not a particularly great field, but it'll be a field. Oh yeah, this is definitely not the island for... Well, what we haven't already farmed on this island is definitely not the place for wheat. To go do wheat someplace else, which is fine. Oh, and I need some farmers assigned, obviously. Oh, and the farm one that we did inside the mountain here. It's ready, is built and ready for farmers to be assigned to it. And these ones obviously want to be mushroomed down here in the cave. Okay, start off with that field. We'll adjust it as time goes on. Field really wants fertilizer, probably wants its rocks removed. Slowly removing the rocks, which should help with the yield. Summer is coming to an end, which is a little worrying that we haven't, well, we're about to finish steam power, and then we need to get the heating. Steam heating. We'd like to have that done by winter. Okay, we're gonna let too much of the day go. Turn off the trinkets, because we do... I think today is a day where we have Whisker's ship coming in, yeah. Steam power. Steam boilers feed steam into specialized pipe networks. Precious gas can provide heat and power heavy machinery. Boilers require a fire tender to keep them fueled. So we'll have to have a fire tender over there. And presumably the boiler itself regenerates pollution. And then we do steam radiator. It's our next research. I'm going to start getting the boiler built. How big is the boiler? Boiler is really tiny, given all the circumstances. We'll get boiler there. Presumably needs some heat and a steam tent, and needs a fire tender as well, so we'll toss a fire tender there. And then apparently we need a water pump. Well, we'll be wanting water for it, so let's get a water pump. So... and it's out the back. Which does result in a little bit of a weirdness of water coming out of one thing, so we're going to be going out and around down the bottom. Make the pump system work, but that should work. What it probably needs... the water system probably needs a tank. Store some water. And then we'll need a steam tank somewhere. I think that should work. Supply ship. Again, we're going to go with the medium option. I like the food. I'd like more clothing, but it is what it is. There's the Whisker ship. Strong shoulders is nice, we'll take that. Yeah, I'm a little bit tempted to take the Warm Core and Swift as well. Be a little greedy, take a few extra Whiskers. Send the rest off. Oh, I'm building plank ones. I've got so used to building plank ones that now that I don't need to build them anymore, I'm still building them. One of our camps, that one's out of things to mine with what's assigned to it. Okay, that will work. I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't last particularly long. This is the woodcutter. Okay, should get you access to more wood. Does agree that it gives it access to more wood. Okay, pump needs a worker. Would be best if it is a engineering worker like so. Then you need a worker. It doesn't actually matter what type of worker you are. Theory, probably you're a good one. Good choice for Warm Core. Find 2 Warm Core workers here. That'll get the steam boiler going. Doesn't have any water yet because we only just assigned the water pump. Whiskers or no whisker ships for 3 days. Let's get going again. Hoping I can get the steam radiators researched before winter hits, so we can get the steam radiators set up everywhere. But that is the hope. Day 137 has ended. Do want to work on the food quality. Again, the best way... Well, actually, I suppose I could get set up some farms for bread as well. But the best way right now, I think, to get more food quality is to get more mushrooms. I think this is a good place to put a part break in. I think I'll run the next part a little bit long, and we'll play until we get to winter and see if we can get the steam radiators set up before winter. But yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, sorry once again for the awkward cutoff last time. Ended up with a phone call and decided it was close enough to the end of the episode that was where we're going to put the cut in. If you're watching on Twitch, we are going to continue the run tonight. We're going to take a short break so I can get up, stretch the legs, sip some tea. But then we'll be back to record one last part for the night, keeping it a fairly short night. So until the next part, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.